So hi. Today the main topic is the SSG SSR is not really silver bullet. So the meaning of the silver bullet is basically these techniques will not gonna solve your problem 100%. The reason why I'm telling about those kind of SSG and SSR. Yeah. Wait. Hold on. I'm just gonna share my screen. This part. Yeah. So I talk about SSG and SSR, and I talk about like last video and last video. And the common thing of like CSR, like rec thing, is basically you render at the runtime. You make HTML, CSS at the runtime, which is a JavaScript. JavaScript is a long-time language. So the problem is that since it requires minimal HTML, it requires the JavaScript to render in HTML, and we figure out why don't we put the SSG on it. But that kind of laid the problem that, so what if, but that's really great, but I tried to use SSG and this our and SSG, and this is really what I learned. I thought SSG was really kind of great, and that's kind of like it's really good, I thought, but it was actually not. Actually it isn't really nice. It's just like SSG just basically means that build HTML CSS at the build time, not the runtime. But that leads the problem that, most of our web applications, like ChatGPT, whatever, our new model application, they're always the runtime, which also means that there's so many interactivity. Since the web applications is rapidly the technology also grows, and the interactivity also rapidly changes. So since compared to the last 10 years, the interactivity, there are a lot of interactivity, so we now have to think about rather than like CSR. Like, I know SSG is great for the SEO, but what if you are building our web applications, but that is only for the users, the data for the users? Like example, user dashboard page. You cannot really enhance SEO for that because that is really credential for user data. So also, and the SEO part is really kind of what I believe is I think that's kind of really important, but it's really minimal part, and you really have to think about SEO when you build minimal MVP, CSR, and SSG, whatever. And I also think about like SSG because we are making our application via React Next.js CSR, but SSG is with the CSR was kind of really kind of issue. Example, I have a card. So there's like curriculum card. So the example, Python basics. If the user clicks the card, when you get the API, you're now able to get the data that user can already enroll this curriculum. If it's not, I have to run a new API that enroll these curriculums. But since it would be perfect if server handles all of the enrollment if they just detect the click of this card, but our interface didn't match, and we really have only minimal time for ping pong the API interface. There's no time, and I just have to make it because I'm a front-end engineer. I'm like, I could ask for it, but that kind of lead into so much latency on our launching this. So I just say, okay, I'm just gonna make it. Since this requires interactivity and conditions, putting first making SSG and putting interactivity was kind of hard, because I have to call API and call the API if user didn't allow these curriculums. At the build time, it's only there's a lot of data, but we only requires the one is allowed property to call the API. But since SSG, there's no allowed property, we just have to wait till we get the API, let hydrate, and there's a is allowed property. But the problem is that when user already pre-render HTML, they try to click it. If they're trying to click it, there's one difficult part of it. Your API is still going, and also if it's not still going, you have to think about what if there's an issue of it. So the SSG is not really relevant. These are always the pre-rendered HTML also means that user can put the interactivity much faster than before, and you have to think about those kind of the problem that user already visit the website that you don't wanna expect it. So those kind of things made us really hard to think about like SSG SSR, because I tried to enhance SEO before the launch, like minimal SEO, and I used the CSR for our application, and before the launch, like these 3 days ago, like 4 days ago, I tried to inject SSG and trying to reduce the CSR part, but that really made so much bugs, so I just gonna get rid of SSG part. So I just gonna add CSR first. So I don't know. So after stabilizing the application, we really think about like putting SSG and SSR, but it is CSR. So I think this is it. So I have a nice see you next time. Bye bye.